TipTut.
Hello everybody and welcome back to TipTut. Today we're in After Effects taking a look at a few cool or a few great motion graphics techniques. These are really good for beginners to get started and have a play around with, and they use some of the tools in unexpected ways. So I'm just going to dive right in and recreate this little thing here that we've got going. So as you can see, we're doing a little bit of manipulating text, some trim paths, and a cool thing with the CC radial wipe, which I've not seen be used much, which I quite like. So let's just jump right in. First thing we're going to do is create a new composition. I'm going to make this 1920 by 1080 and about 30 seconds, but we can just trim that down using N for the shortcut there, and then just trim comp to work area. First thing we need to do is pop in a background. So I'm going to add in a new solid with layer new solid, and I'm going to make this a certain color. I've got it up already. It's going to be EA3546. Beautiful little red color. Let's pop that guy in there, and we'll just do a little bit of setup for later on as well. We'll create another solid and make this one yellow, which is going to be F9C80E, like that. And for now, we're just going to pop this underneath the red one and kind of forget about it. Let's add in a little bit of text then. Let's have, wow, this is... let's see about that. Wow, this is. Let's make it white. And I've got a font here that's called Aero. It's quite a cool font. You should check it out. And I'm just going to quickly pop the anchor point in the middle. I did that with this little plugin called Motion V2, but you can do it by clicking the pan behind tool and dragging it around. Just going to pop this in the middle of the composition for now. Okay, great. So we've got wow, this is. Let's copy and paste that. Shift it down a little bit. And then let's have the word awesome! Exclamation mark. Okay, again, I'm just going to quickly pop that in the middle, like so. Maybe offset it a little bit so that it's visually center. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to grab both of these now, just center them up a little bit. And then we're going to take a look at creating this first bit where the letters sort of poof, 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 pop in like so. Now that's done using something called a range selector. So if you twirl down your first text layer, and we're going to animate the position. Okay, so I'm going to grab the position and I'm going to move it on the y-axis, and I'm going to go to about -110, which will shift those up. You might have to do a slightly different value, but just enough that it's about the same height as the text that you're working with. Then we're going to twirl down this animator. Underneath it is a thing called a range selector, and we're going to start playing around with these values. So you notice if they're both at 0, 0, then nothing's going to happen. It's going to put your shapes back to normal, okay? You'll probably start with a value of 0 in the start and 100 in the end. If you don't, pop it there now, okay? We're then going to keyframe the start value of the range selector. Move over, say, 20 frames. I'm going to do that with Control, Shift, and right. And then drag your start value up to 100%. Now, as you can see, the range selector is moving this red line across the stage here, and it's selecting the range, believably, that you want to edit. We're going from 0% of this entire text sentence to 100%, hence why it comes in a letter at a time. There are some advanced settings you can play around with. I like adding the easing to go to 100 on high and low, and this just adds a little bit of extra pop. Bam, 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 bam. Nice. See, look at that. Now, if you were to add easing to this range selector here, you'd think that might make the letters go from slow to fast or fast to slow. But what it actually does is it affects the range. So you can see a lot of the first letters, boom, pop in really quick, and then they slow down after that. So just make sure that that is the effect that you want. I'm just going to click Control on these keyframes to undo it and turn them back to normal. So with that done, let's do it quickly again on the other one, just to show you how it's done quickly. We're going to animate the position. We're going to take the position E110. We're going to twirl down the range selector. We're going to keyframe start, Control Shift right, put it up to 100. And that's all there is to it. Now here comes the cool bit. We're going to grab our first layer, and we're going to choose the rectangle tool. And with the layer selected, that turns this into a mask. So let's zoom in on this a little bit. And I'm just going to draw as tightly as I can a box around this text. We're going to do the same thing on the awesome layer. And now we've just added a mask around those layers, which means everything inside that box will be visible, everything outside of it won't. So that means the letters just come out of space like that, which looks really cool. Let's offset the word awesome so it comes in slightly later. Nice. And let's turn on the motion blur for both of these layers, just to add a little bit of power. There you go. That's our first tip. That's really cool, really quick way to make some really good text animations inside of After Effects. Now, the second one, let's go and grab our pen tool. Now, all of you guys know about trimming paths. And if you don't, then I recommend you watching my Intro to Motion Graphics series, because I'm not really going to go into super amount of detail here, but you should be able to follow along if you're fairly okay with After Effects. You've probably all seen this technique before, where a user will draw a line like so, nice big swirly line. We can play around with this to make it a bit smoother. We can spin these out just a little bit. Yep. Like so. Boom. Looks pretty good, right? You then probably seen people come down and hit add trim path. And then we can do the same thing with these range selector style things here. We can go down to 0, 0 on both, hit a keyframe, move us, say, 30 frames, Control Shift right, and go up to 100 on both of these. If you then offset one group of these keyframes by a couple of frames and hit F9, that easy eases them. And then clicking on this graph editor here, you can click and drag to make this go from fast to slow. And you've probably seen this. You've seen it everywhere, I guarantee it. But there's a really, really quick and easy way to duplicate these as long as you want them happening at the same time. What I'm going to do is quickly clip this layer with Alt open square bracket so that it starts in the right place. Now with this layer selected, but not with the shape selected, with the whole layer selected, I'm going to choose the pen tool again and I'm going to draw a different line. Okay, just going to come in and quickly draw a line here. Now if we scrub through, you'll notice that same trim path is being applied to both of these lines. If I draw a third path whilst we're in the middle of the animation, oh, excuse me, I just extended that first one, so we can deselect and reselect. If I draw another path, you can already see, if I just twist it so you can see where the line is, you can already see that it automatically pops that line in for you, and you get a bit of a preview as to what that might look like. So click off, click on again. Let's do another short little line here. And this is reusing all of your old animation keyframes. That looks pretty cool. That's tip number 2. Let's add a motion blur on that one as well. Looks nice. And let's drag it back to the beginning so they happen as that text coming in. Awesome, looks pretty good. Okay, next tip then. We're going to use the CC radial wipe to create this kind of cutting of the paper here. All this sort of comes in and boom, another line goes across and then the paper is cut. It looks really cool. You could do this with separate solids, but I quite like the idea of keeping your compositions as simple as possible. So what we'll quickly do then is on a new text layer, a new shape layer, I'm just going to pick my yellow color, F9C80E, and I'm going to draw a line roughly in the middle from the right hand side to the left hand side. Let's make it a bit of an angle. Let's quickly choose where we want that to start with the open square bracket. Let's add a trim path and let's quickly repeat the steps we've just done, keyframing both at 0. Let's make this one a bit faster. Let's make it only 15 frames and put both of these to 100. And then we'll shift this one along a little bit. That was Alt and the right key there to shift those along. Let's hit F9 to ease those. Go to the graph editor and pull both these over. Let's also grab just the first 2 keyframes though and pull both of them over so we get this really sharp curve. What that does is it makes it shoot across the screen like that. Awesome. Really good. Okay, now we're going to go back to the layers that we created at the start. So I'm just going to twirl all of these down and collapse them because we don't need them anymore. And we're going to take a look at our red solid. Let's go over to Effects and Presets, and we're going to type in Radial Wipe. And it should be under the transition heading here. Let's drag that down onto our red solid layer. And this is what it usually looks like. Okay, like a clock wipe. Now, what we want to do is this wipe center, we need to offset that to the edge of the screen. So I'm going to click this little anchor point icon here, and I'm going to select again where I want that anchor point to be. And it's going to be off the screen to the left. Now when we hit transition completion, you can see that it starts to open. from that position, but it's not exactly what we want. Let's keyframe transition completion. Let's turn the start angle to be 90 degrees. And for now, let's keyframe this wipe center as well. We'll also keyframe the start angle. Let's press U to bring up all of those keyframes and move along maybe 30 frames. 1, 2, 3. That was Control Shift and right. Now let's add a new keyframe on all of those again. And let's say transition completion, let's say about 4%. But now we can change the start angle to say 84. That looks about right. Let's actually make it 82. No, let's leave it at 84. That looks good. We'll stick with that. If you want to, you can then tweak your white center as well. Maybe you want it to drop in height a little bit, and then you could change the start angle. It's completely up to you, this section. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to leave it where it is. Now, this next step is important. You need to remember how you're going to ease this. So I'm going to hit F9. I'm going to go to my graph view. I'm going to select all of those keyframes. I'm going to drag this right handle all the way to the left. I'm going to drag this left handle all the way to the left as well. That creates that nice sharp snapping motion. Boom, like that. Looks pretty good, okay? Now, this step is important. Go to the second keyframe here, and we're going to move this text to be aligned with it. Now, you can't do things with nulls or pinning or anything like that. You might as well do it manually because it's pretty quick, okay? Let's grab wow, this is, and awesome, and let's bring up the position and rotation keyframes. And I just did that with P, holding Shift, and hitting R to bring up position and rotation. Let's keyframe those, go back to the first set of keyframes, and keyframe again. Now let's return to our second set. All we need to do here, really simple, is adjust these until they look about right. So we're going to adjust the rotation for wow, this is. I think it's going to be about -5 degrees. And then I'm just going to press Shift and up until I position that where I want it. Now it's not quite level, so let's make that -6 degrees. That looks pretty good. And we'll do the same thing for awesome. We'll make this about 5 or 6 degrees. Shimmy it down. Yeah, that's definitely going to be 6 or maybe even 7. Maybe even 8. 8 looks good. There we go. So we've got wow, this is awesome. Now, this is why it was important you remembered how you tweaked these settings earlier, because we have to do them exactly the same. Let's hit F9 on all those keyframes. Select them all here. Drag it over and drag it over. And then, boom, they match perfectly. Shing. That looks pretty good. All right, let's go to the end of these then and do the last couple of things. Let's grab our text tool again, and we're going to type in the word totally. This is going to need to be much bigger than it is though. So let's scale that up. Totally awesome. Nice. Let's pop this guy in the middle, like so. And we're going to bring him down between our red solid and our yellow solid. Now, I think this is not the best word to use. The other word was a bit better because you could see what it said more, but that's okay. Maybe what we'll also do is we'll reduce the size of our transition completion, maybe to about 3%, and we'll shift down the wipe center just a little bit. What this will allow us to do is bring in awesome, and also reduce the rotation on awesome. Again, I'm making sure I'm on the final keyframe here. And you can just tweak this until you're happy, really. So it's not even 6 at this point, it's about 5.5. Wow, this is, that looks about okay where it is. So let's just shift that down a bit. Now we can make totally a little bit smaller without it looking a bit odd or a bit off. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's grab the word totally and let's change the color. Let's have it be a nice orange, F86624. That looks good. But it doesn't stand out great against the yellow, so we're just going to pop on a nice drop shadow. And this is another cool tip as well. A good drop shadow should have a lot of contrast. So let's make the distance about 20. Let's drag the opacity up to 100. And I know that what complements the background color yellow the best is purple, and I've got the perfect purple for it here, 662E9B, and that adds in a lot of cool contrast there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's maybe just rotate this guy a little bit so that we can scale him up and bring more of that totally to be visible still. There we go, that looks pretty good. Okay, Happy with that. Let's go back to our first set of keyframes, and we're going to use that motion of that slice to make it look a little bit better. We're going to grab the position keyframe, move across, but this time we're going to do double the length of the slice so that it adds a little bit of drift. So that was Control Shift and right 6 times for 2 seconds. We can then add in a second keyframe there, go back to the first one and push this off to the side a little bit. Let's go and grab those 2 keyframes, hit F9 to ease them, select them all again, and bring them back like so. Boom, comes in really nice. Make sure we get that nice motion blur. Perhaps what we'll do is we'll just push that a few frames over so it snaps and then boom. Actually, no, I don't like that at all. What this needs to do is make this a little bit faster. Bam, that's nice. Cool. Let's shift that by 10 frames or so. Boom. Nice one. Now, my final trick is to add a little bit of texture and a bit of feeling. I like to add a adjustment layer on top with something simple, just like a little bit of noise. So we're going to type in noise. We're going to grab it here. We're going to pop that on the adjustment layer. Let's turn off the colored noise and turn it up to about 20%. I always find that just feels like it adds a little bit of texture and a little bit of authenticity to something. If you want to make something feel genuine, add a bit of noise to it. And that's all there is to it, really. So let's just crop that animation off, trim that to the work area, and take a look. Bam. Animating text, using the lines, and using the radial wipe to do a sliced paper kind of effect. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that feels like a few cool tips for motion graphics in After Effects. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and I can do more of them in this kind of style where I just mess around a little bit for a while. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got what you wanted to get from this video. And I'll see you next time for a few more great mograph techniques, maybe. Wow, I cannot speak today. That was a tough one to get through. Thanks for putting up with me, everybody. I'll see you all next time.
Remember to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Thanks for watching.